Hello, welcome back, Boxer1 here, and today we're going to be looking at this set. This is set 75432, and it is the V-19 Torent. A very cool set with some very cool figures. 3 of them, actually. And, yeah, first we'll be getting into the figures, then the build, and finally, my opinion on the whole thing. So let's get into the figures first. We can start with my personal favorite, Obi-Wan Kenobi in his clone gear. And it is a very, very cool, looking armor. He has arm printing and all, and then some nice back printing as well. I think that's very nice looking. Republic logo on the one side, and it just looks really good. The tan is very nice. It matches the torso and all that, and it just looks really good. I have really nothing bad to say about it. He does have an opposite head as well, so you can do more angry Obi-Wan Kenobi. I believe that head was seen before, but I may be wrong about that. They're very similar Obi-Wan heads out there. But yeah, a very cool version of Obi-Wan, and I'm definitely happy to get him. The next figure, another cool one, is Asajj Ventress. And, well, she has her dual lightsabers, her little bandaged, or whatever that would be in the show, torso and legs. She has a nice printing on her, as well as on the back of her head, actually, which is very cool. And you can see the back printing as well on her torso. And then, yeah, she looks pretty cool. She has these purple things on the front. I don't know if they're supposed to go all the way around on her character, but if they do, let me just look that up so I don't mess something up in my word. Okay, I was right. Those are supposed to go all around her legs, so it would be nice for it to be dual molded, but LEGO in 2025 doesn't like dual molding for some reason. That should have been dual molded, I think. Or they could have used that cloth piece to do the, like the actual dress version. I think that would have also been cool. But either way, I quite like this figure. Bit bright of a purple, to me anyway. It may be the correct shade. I just think it looks a bit bright, but also, just my opinion. So, yeah. Well, I guess it's a review, so yeah, it's going to be my opinion. Anyway, on to the final figure, the Clone Pilot. And the Clone Pilot is a very cool one at that. He's from, well, this set. And this set alone, they haven't made a Clone Pilot like this with the specialized helmet ever. And he has some very nice torso and leg printing. Of course, the leg printing has been seen before, but the torso printing is new. It looks very good. On the back, also, I think that's also been seen before. His helmet now is the one thing that has been raised into controversy, we'll say. Yeah, the main thing about it is that the printing should go farther back. At this, it should go all the way back to here, where this yellow stops, and the yellow on top should go all the way down to here, and then there should be black on these. Now, I wish LEGO did that, and I don't know why they didn't, but yeah, I still think it's a pretty fine figure. I like having the helmet mold, but I wish the printing would be a bit better there. Just the normal clone head, though, and a blaster. I'd say overall, we'll put these figures together so you can see them all. I'd say overall, it's a really good lineup of figures, and I think they are very cool. With minor flaws, I'd say, but still flaws. So, pretty cool. Let's get on to the build. Now, you may look at the build in landing position and say, this is a goofy looking ship, and it is, in landing position, very goofy looking, but it's actually pretty accurate from what I know. As to how it actually looks. Of course, it is downsized from the old model, but it also looks a lot better than the old model. You can see here, we'll actually just move these wings down. They're on ball joints, 2 ball joints actually, so they don't move independently like that, but just as one. It does use all stickers. None of these pieces are printed, unfortunately. I wish they would be, but you can see on the front it has some engine stickers, and this is mirrored on the other side. You can see the stripes and the clone pattern, which is only on the one side. It's not quite a match to the white, which is kind of weird, but yeah. You can decide if you don't like that or not. You probably don't. On this, it has the guns on either side, of course, with a stud shooter. We'll do this. There we go. It shoots pretty good. It actually ricocheted pretty far back. And, yeah, the engines are pretty long. They look good. I quite like the engines. And, well, we can get into the main section here. And it's pretty good. It's pretty good size. It looks pretty nice, actually, from most angles. And on the, well, the big thing in the middle, the cockpit can open up, and you can fit your pilot or one of the other figures inside, but mainly the pilot. And that is what he looks like in there. Pretty good, actually. I think that looks pretty nice. He does have to sit back slightly, but I think it looks fine. On the sides, you can see it's actually a very well enclosed cockpit there. It doesn't have any gaps, really, so looks very nice. And then we get to the back wing, which also looks pretty nice. From this angle, of course, it has the anti-stud, so it doesn't look as good. But on the other side, it looks very smooth and very nice. It has the one little thing in the back, which I think is a cannon. I could be wrong, so don't quote me on that. But it has the thruster in the front, which is for the next feature, the main feature, and how you get it into this position, as you see on the box. Simply put, you just fold this down, which is, it's on a, not a hinge, but I guess you could call it a hinge, made by Technic pieces. And this little bar on the back slots right here. There's also another bar on the other side which slots into here for its upright position, as you had seen it before. And then these wings simply just fold on those ball joints until they're stopped by this Technic thing here. And finally, you get a very nice looking ship. I actually think this looks really good. Way better than its landed form, but it's very, very cool looking like this. And I'll try and give you a bigger, higher up view so you can see the scale of it. Next to a figure even. It is quite big. We'll put it right here. And yeah, pretty good scale. I quite like it. And, well, it just looks good. I don't have much other things to say about it other than it looks quite good. And I think that's actually a really good build. But yeah, now it's time to get onto my final opinions and my thoughts. Pros and cons, you may say. Pros of this set, it looks really good. I think the build looks great. I think the figures are great. Besides some things, we'll get into that. But I think the build looks really good, especially in attack position. Landed, it doesn't look quite as good as the old one, I'd say. But even still, I think the detail here and just the general polished look of it just give it a very nice, well, look. It's also actually quite heavy, but not too heavy. You want to have a build it doesn't fall over if you knock into it slightly, but it also is easy to play with, and this is probably it. It's also easy to use the function on it, and it actually stays in place quite well. This is actually kind of a cool look, like a little shuttle. I always thought that looked cool. But anyway, fold it back up into landed position for now, and yeah, cons now. The cons, one of the big ones is the price being $65, and while I think it's a great set, I think it's worth more along the lines of 50 max. And you can actually find it on sale most of the time for 51. I've seen all the way down to like $45 was the lowest I've seen so far, and I bet that will get lower as it nears retirement in probably either late 2026 or 2027. I don't know exactly which one, but yeah, I think that's almost it. Also, the figure, as I spoke of earlier, have a couple things I don't like about them. But other than that, I quite like it. I think it's a great set. Definitely, if you can find it on sale, it's a really good set. And if it will not be blurry, yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I quite like this set. I quite like the build of it, even. That's about it. I shall see you next time, where we will be looking at a classic space set. Also space-themed, I guess you could call it. Star Wars, but actual classic space. So I shall see you then. And if it will not be blurry, goodbye.